All right, guys. My name is Shawn from the Gentleman's Driving Club YouTube channel. This is Brody and Billy from the BrodyBuilt YouTube channel. We are going to have a great discussion today on some hot topics: the C8 Corvette, the new Netflix original Hyperdrive, the vehicles that we're building right now, as well as the Streetspeed717 giveaway that's going on right now. So, first things first, I want to get you guys' thoughts on the C8 Corvette. Got announced not too long ago. There's been pictures everywhere. We saw a lot of video at Corvettes of Carlisle. What do you guys think of the new C8?
I think it's the best Corvette they've made yet. I think it looks sweet. It definitely rivals the Ferrari, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's a Corvette that kind of changes the Corvette game for sure. Definitely bringing in, the mid-engine style for American cars is not a common thing, so it's nice to have some variety. I know some people are diehard C7 guys, so it's like, well, now you're going to get kind of C7 crew and as well as the C8, which I think they're great, and I think the starting price point is key as well.
Oh yeah,
keeping that low number there. I mean, that's kind of a car that's affordable for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, when they announced it, they said you were going to be able to get it for $60. Now, after all the options that you basically have to get with it, it does come a little bit closer to $80. But I mean, really, like if you want to get the ZR1 package with that car, because you get the the brakes, you get all the bells and whistles with it. It ends up coming closer to 80, 85, but yes, still very affordable compared to like a Ferrari or something, and you still get the performance and the look of a supercar. The C8, I'm glad you brought up C7s versus C8s. For me, it's almost a completely different car. Like I don't see it necessarily as the new Corvette. Like it does kind of go into that supercar class for me anyway, is how I kind of classify it. And the C7 is such a great design. I don't see it kind of going out of style for a long time.
No. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely more of like that collector car Corvette, as opposed, not saying anything bad about the C7s or the previous generations before that, but it definitely seemed like they were all very similar in their own ways, but the C8 definitely kind of put it on that pedestal. It kind of makes it, like you said, that supercar kind of aspect of it.
Right, and then the nice thing about Corvettes, and as everyone from my channel knows, I used to own a C6 Corvette, is that they don't change the body every year or every 2-4 years like Mustang does. Their generations of vehicles last a lot longer, so you're able to kind of like nothing's worse than buying a vehicle and then the very next year you feel like it's old and you have to get the new one. So that's kind of what I like about the Corvette. However, they did change the game completely this year with the C8. So.
For sure.
Best color, C8 Corvette. Have you guys seen all the colors yet or no?
Okay, so being in Colorado, have you seen one?
No.
We have not seen any in person.
Hold on. What's that?
We have not seen any in person.
I haven't seen any in person because they're not out yet. And we haven't had any shows here where they actually had it. But online, everybody seems to be liking the Rapid Blue, which is like that baby blue.
I agree. There are a lot of cool colors, but I'm gonna have to stay traditional. All I own is black. So that's where I would be at.
I think the red one pops a lot.
The red. So I like the red with the cream interior because that's kind of the Ferrari combination, and it looks really, really good on that C8 Corvette. It being kind of that supercar feeling. So I think if I got the vehicle, it would either be the red with the cream interior or it would definitely be the Rapid Blue.
I agree.
Okay.
So I heard talks that they're making a V8 twin turbo for the C8 as well.
Yes. They're making a Z06 version of it. So yes, twin turbo V8 would be absolutely monstrous. And that car would kill any supercar on the market.
Absolutely. That'd be insane.
Yeah. So moving on from the C8, Hyperdrive came to Netflix about 8 days ago.
Yes.
Oh, God. Have you been watching Hyperdrive?
Yes. Absolutely. That show is incredible.
And I was really impressed with it. I'm not going to spoil the ending because I binge watched it. I've seen it all. And I know you guys haven't quite finished. Have you finished it, Billy?
Are you done?
No, I reached right when they got done with all the qualifiers, so they just finished like the first round of the actual competition.
And that's where I'm at as well. And yeah, I mean, it's still as exciting as ever, but not to the finale yet.
Yeah, so if you guys out in the audience don't know, Hyperdrive is a brand new Netflix original television series. Basically, they took 28 drivers from around the world, all different types of cars. You got supercars, you've got drift cars, you've got drag racing cars, and they brought them onto what's being described as a mix between Fast and Furious and American Ninja or Ninja Warrior, and they basically like compete in they compete in a drift competition, and there's all kinds of obstacles and whatnot. Really, really fun show if you're a car enthusiast. Which if you're here, obviously you are. What's your guys' favorite driver on the show? Who's your favorite driver?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I was really heartbroken when what's his name? The guy with the old Dodge Challenger when he broke his axle and suspension and all that.
Yep.
When he was killing it on the time.
Right.
Oh, that one was heartbreaking.
That show is like, there's so many ups and downs because you could be having the perfect run and then one bad thing happens and it's just done. Like your stay on the show is over.
Oh yeah.
Which it kind of keeps the competition pretty, competition level up there, and it gets very competitive. I feel like because of that nature. Like one mess up and you're basically eliminated almost.
Right. Makes it an even playing field.
Agreed. Yeah. But that's why I gotta say, fielding Shredder is definitely my guy. Just because full send all the time. Hey, you know what?
Hang out.
Exactly. It's one of those things where he's putting on a show, and that's what he does best.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very fun to watch. Very fun to watch.
Fielding, for those of you guys, if you haven't seen the show, Fielding Shredder is a good old boy from Texas. What is he driving? A 240, red 240?
Yeah, something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's BMW powered.
Yeah, it's a red 240. He's got a V6 BMW engine under the hood, and this guy just sends it down the track every single time, reckless abandon, does not care. And just goes all out for us. So definitely a good choice for favorite driver for sure. What about you, Billy?
It may not be a BMW powered. Billy's thinking it's a 2J. I don't know either way. There's too many cars on the show, so whatever it is, it's real cool.
I do believe there is. I don't know which car it is, but there is a
BMW,
like a Nissan or something that does run a BMW, but I don't think it's.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I think Shredders is either the RB or the 2J.
I'm pretty sure if it's one of them, it's probably a 2J.
He's got so much backfire in his launch control and all that. It probably is a 2J.
What about you, Billy? Who's your favorite character on the show?
I mean, Shredder is definitely he's up there. He's like we said, he just lets it rip.
Right.
But now let's go to the real important question. Who's Shawn's? I already know who this guy is. Him and Shawn have the exact same features on themselves.
Yeah. So I really like Shredder. He's probably my second favorite, but my favorite is Diego. Diego is, they call him the baby face assassin, and this kid drives, I think it's a 2005 red Mustang, which you guys know I'm a Mustang guy at heart. And basically the kid's from Brazil. He's won a ridiculous amount of awards, drifting events there in Brazil. And this dude just doesn't make mistakes. Like it's almost as if he's been on this track before. Like he's just absolutely flawless on just about every run.
Yeah, his backstory is pretty cool too.
His what?
His backstory with his dad and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yep. I mean, the kid's good. You got to give him that. He can drive.
Yeah, he can.
He could drive. And then I also like Brittany Williams as like my underdog pick. The girls did pretty good on the show. The girls did pretty good.
Yeah, they actually are.
And then Corinna Graf and the German girl, the German lady with the Mercedes. She's a pretty good driver as well, for sure.
Agreed.
But
what did you think of the controversy about the dude in the AMG just opening his door to hit all the targets?
I thought it's all in good fun. I mean, that wasn't a rule that you couldn't do that. and I thought it was pretty creative. So I mean, it is what it is.
It was creative, but I think it was also little on the cheating side.
I mean, if you couldn't hit the targets any other way, you got to do what you got to do.
But then the dude, what was his name? He had some weird name. Dryer. He went head to head with the Lambo and lost because he hit the target with his fender.
Yep.
With his what?
With his fender instead of the back half of his car.
Yeah.
That's almost the same principle.
Well, what I really think happened was when everybody saw it, including like the producers and the announcers and the judge or whatever, they didn't really know what to make of it. They never thought that would happen. So I think they were more in shock than anything else, and we're like, well, whatever, we're just going to let it roll.
Yeah, and like you're saying, overall, it was a show that this is the first of its kind. I mean, they didn't know which way to go. They had to throw, like you're saying, the wipeout kind of competition courses and all that kind of stuff with it. Right. So, you have your obstacles that no one's ever completed these obstacles before. So it's one of those things where, well, we're going to go ahead and try something different. I mean, the leveler. Whose idea is it to build the Golden Gate Bridge on a pendulum that we're going to have go back and forth?
Right.
And I agree with you saying earlier, a lot of great girl drivers on there as well. So they got a good variety. I mean, they got the guys with the supercars. They got the guys with the drag racing cars, which, again, they're not going to make the most sense in the show, but it gives you that huge variety that makes it that much more exciting.
And that opens it up to a much broader audience too, because although I like drifting, I've never been like an owner of a drift car. Like I've never really been super into it. I've always been more on the muscle car side. So it kind of gives viewers of every. There was even a van on there. There was even a guy with a van on there. You remember that? German.
Oh yeah, the European whatever, two-pan wagon.
They kind of brought all kinds of wacky stuff on there, which was cool to see. But like you said, like it was fairly even just because of all the obstacles were so diverse. Like everyone had a different advantage. Like we talked about earlier, stock cars had more of an advantage in some of the obstacles versus cars that were built strategically for drifting, so on and so forth. So I felt like they made it very balanced in the obstacles, at least. I know you guys aren't done with season 1, and I have finished it, but there are a few things that I think they can improve on in season 2. If you guys want to get into that, we can go ahead and do that. I don't think I'll spoil anything saying it, but number one thing I would say, and I think you guys can agree, or you will once you get to the end, is changing the obstacles up a little bit more during the competition. So they did change them in different ways and whatnot. However, I would like to see new obstacles within the season. Obviously, next season, they're going to do probably totally different obstacles and maybe a mix of what they did this season. But I think mid-season, they should have changed it up a little bit more. What do you guys think about that?
I would agree with that. That makes sense, but it's tough because since they did so many qualifiers, it's kind of tough to make it somewhat of the same track so everybody gets the same playing field.
Yeah. What do you think, Brody?
I totally agree just because, like you're saying, they're doing the same or similar obstacles, basically the same setup, just slightly modified from qualifying to the actual main event. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, like Billy's saying, I know you can only get so extreme with a show like this, which they definitely went extreme. But when you go so extreme, now you've kind of focused on, the seven main obstacles that they just run every single event, but they're in slightly different orders, which is like, okay, I understand, we're making the course slightly different. They're extending the length sometimes. They're making it shorter. Yep. But like you're saying, it'd be nice to have a little bit more variety.
Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying, Billy. Like you want to kind of make it even for all the contestants in the competition. But at the same time, everybody's going through it. So, it really is the throw. And then the other thing I would say is grand prize. Like, I get this was the first season, and also I did a review on Hyperdrive, my own review on it on the YouTube channel. You guys can check that out if you like. But I mentioned this there. The only prize you got at the end was first place got a Hyperdrive trophy, which trophy was badass. Like, it's cool. I definitely, like, if I was on that show, would have loved the clout of getting the very first Hyperdrive trophy, which I can't say who did.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
But I definitely think there should be some kind of, cash prize or car as a prize for the winner, something like that. Because what I noticed, what's that?
Race for pinks.
Something.
All the cars.
Something. Like, it really seemed like, and I know we had talked about Omar's video with Vin Wiki about his experience going through it. It really seemed like it was kind of all on the driver to get the vehicle modified to the way the show wanted it, get them up to New York for the filming of the show, tires for the event. Those guys couldn't have gone on one pair of tires. So I just think from a, first season standpoint, I can understand where it's like, hey, we want to get you guys this clout, like we put you guys as drivers. This is still a show with, somewhat limited budget. But I think moving forward, they definitely have to compensate drivers in some way, even if it's just providing a grand prize.
Yeah, I actually didn't know there wasn't a grand prize. I figured they would be, since every other game show or any other contest has a grand prize. But yeah,
and then, like you were saying, the big thing for me, I wouldn't turn it down either. I mean, if I could somehow swing it to actually be able to go on that course, I totally would pull all the strings to make it actually happen.
100%.
But like Omar said in his video from VinWiki, besides, he totaled his Viper. Right there, we're talking, countless amounts of money that was in the show.
That wasn't the show's fault, though.
I know, but so in the process of him trying to get that car there, he totaled it. He then gets the AMG. Well, then he said, what, $40,000 of modifications just to get the AMG ready for the show?
Yeah.
And then he wasn't even fully prepared. He didn't have tires. He had one set of extra tires, like he was saying. Yeah, technically, if you're you have to be dedicated to that kind of lifestyle for it to actually make sense financially for you to go, unless you just want to gamble and just go do it. And then besides, like, the prep work, you can, guys like, they're trashing their cars. You can't tell me the rail slide is not destroying the whole entire undercarriage of all these vehicles.
For sure.
So we're talking, say I brought the FJ in here. We're talking, I got like maybe with buying the car and aftermarket accessories, I'm trashing a $35,000, $40,000 car for what? Maybe a few rounds on a Netflix TV show, but bragging rights. Still so cool.
The exposure might be worth it. The exposure might be worth it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I would love to do it. As I said, I will take that Raptor and slam it in the gravel with a drift rail. We're going to pull a truck to this event. I'll hit all of the little beacons and whatever they got going on there.
I'm telling you, if I got picked for the show, I'm slapping a big old GDC wrap on the hood, and we're rolling.
I will fly down to Texas. We'll take 2 months off. We'll go help you do whatever you need to do.
That's what we're talking about. I already got my spotters right there.
There you go.
So yeah, great show on Netflix. You guys definitely go check out Hyperdrive. We're gonna get into what builds we got going on right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with Billy. What you got going on car-wise right now?
So I have a Porsche 957, which means it's a Porsche Cayenne S. I picked it up about a month ago now, and just had a driveline issue to it. The drive shaft hub broke, so I had to fix that. So that set me back a little bit. The wheels that came with the car were 22s, very thin sidewalls. So those cracked, so I'm down 22s. So I'm rolling on the stock 18s right now.
When did they crack? Like, how's this happen? Just randomly driving or what?
So all of them were welded up to begin with.
Which we should have looked at these wheels previously.
That was our bad.
But, the car, we test drove this car. Rolling this car at 80, 85, 90 miles an hour, test drive, there was no vibrations. It was definitely, it was shocking, to say the least, I guess you'd say.
It was pretty smooth. But some guy at work decided to pull a prank on me and take out the valve stem.
Oh.
Well, that night, it decided to do a torrential downpour. I was like, well, I'm not going out in the rain to move my car so we can fill it up. So you're doing it. Gave him the keys.
Yeah.
He drove up a curb and then we filled it up. And ever since then, I had trouble holding air to the tire. I was like, this is weird. I have to fill it up every, third day. And then there was one day I heard a little pop to it.
Okay.
The tire went flat. I was like, must have just let out the air, typical air again, filled it back up. Within the same day, let out again. I was like, what the hell? Took it off the wheel.
Yeah.
Sprayed my soapy water to see where it's bubbling from.
Sure.
Found out it's actually the barrel that's cracked right down the middle and actually cracked in 4 different spots.
Wow.
So it's unrepairable. Doesn't make sense to try to repair them.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason. So now we're going to make the Porsche real cool.
So what's the plan for the Porsche?
I was flirting with the idea of making it a overland / rally Porsche.
Yeah, I wonder who gave you that idea.
I'm all
I wonder who gave you that idea.
I've seen some cool pictures rolling around. It's cool, but I also like the look of it with the 22s.
Okay.
So I keep going back and forth on that, but I think the first thing I want to do is I'm gonna do electric cutouts for the exhaust.
Okay.
This thing has a nice gurgle to it, and
it's a V8. What is it? 4?
It's a 4.8 liter V8.
Okay.
And it's a true dual exhaust, so it sounds mean with. I mean, these mufflers on it are ginormous.
Okay.
Like it's at least 3 feet wide and 2 feet long. Like it's massive. It takes up the whole third in of the behind the tires. It takes up the whole area right there. So I think cutting it off right before there will make it sound real mean.
Okay. I can dig it.
Do any power additives after that.
Okay. Custom tune.
Yeah,
it's today, right?
But they're pricey.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're expensive.
But it's naturally aspirated, right?
Yeah. I could get the twin turbo package for it, but that's $10,000.
I feel you. Yeah. What about you, Brody? What's going on? What's going on with your build right now?
We have lots of things going on. So behind me, I've got the FJ going here. Still the baby of the whole family. Recently we did the Raptor liner. It's got the whole new rear suspension. The front end I rebuilt last winter, which we never really posted an update on that or any of that stuff. So but it's still here, doing great. Lots of goodies that come with that. We have to redo the exhaust. We have to fix a bunch of little problems here and there. Just little maintenance things. Overall, running great.
Roll gauge.
I would love to do roll gauge at some point. We'll need to get a tube bender for that. But the FJ is still running good, still getting it out, all that kind of good stuff. The newest toy that we've added is the 2011 Ford Raptor. So this thing, if you guys follow my YouTube channel at BrodyBuilt, we picked this up recently. Basically, this is a fully built Baja chase truck. So we're talking 3.5-inch 5-channel bypasses in the rear up to a 3.0 coil or a 3.0 long travel up front with coilovers and bypasses. You can jump this thing, no problem. The frame's been reinforced. I mean, countless upgrades. So that's the new baby. It is a blast. Lots of things, lots of content coming up with that. So right now in the garage, I'm literally looking at just piles of parts. So I've got, we got the rooftop tent over here that originally goes on the FJ, but we bought a rack, which I'm going to modify, make it fit on the Raptor.
That's just cool.
Kind of trying to do that.
It's gonna be cool.
That Baja overland, but also, kind of throwing in a few differences here and there, making it stand out. So we got that. We've also got kind of down what Billy was talking about, exhaust modifications. So really been looking at the Banks Power exhaust. I ran that on the FJ for a while. Nice sounding. I've seen a few YouTube clips and all that stuff about that sound. Sounds great. I go that way. Electric cutouts are still an option, but we're going to do a bunch of stuff like that. Rear trailing arms are definitely going to be a thing coming up soon, just so you kind of keep that rear axle locked up a little better. And then just more performance stuff as well. So, and like Billy was saying with his, when he would like to do the turbo, I would love to put the Whipple supercharger on the Raptor. But again, like Billy said, we're talking about another 95, 10 grand.
Subscriptions.
It's going to be, it'll be a little pricey of an upgrade. But So we have the Raptor. We still have this bike, which we might keep it, we might sell it, don't know. Still got the bike for now. Again, if you guys saw, we basically had a Mini Cooper race car that I was trying to work on, and basically rebuilt the motor, got it running, sold it. So got this bike instead, which I don't drive bikes. So that's just kind of sitting in the garage. And then I do still have my FRS. You know, we put it's dropped, it's on raised wheels, carbon fiber hood, trunk, turbocharger, all that kind of stuff.
It's for sale, right?
Would be great for hyperdrive.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So everybody's any Netflix guy.
Netflix
exactly. But we'll see how long I end up keeping that one. I would like to go crazy with the FRS, but financially, it probably makes more sense to not, kind of spend that money on the Raptor as opposed to the FRS, which I would rather spend the money on the Raptor anyways. So
yeah,
that's kind of me. What about you, Shawn?
Well, I recently moved from Florida back to Texas, and in Florida, I really wanted something more practical, and I didn't want to take the C6 Vet down there. So I sold the Vet before I left. When I got down there, I kind of rushed to get a vehicle, and I got a 2010 Audi A4. It is on custom rims. I think they're 19-inch rims. I believe they're 19, so slightly bigger than stock rims, custom performance tune from a speed shop there in Miami. It's on coilover, so it's super, super low, all blacked out. Nice. It's really, really clean chrome accents. So as you guys know, I've been kind of thinking about selling it. Haven't really gotten a lot of interest buyer-wise in my area. So I was talking to Brody the other day, and I think I'm just going to build the Audi into a race car.
Okay.
What the plan was to sell the Audi, buy like a 2005 to 2009 Mustang, completely gut it, roll cage, and actually turn it into basically a drift car, right? But then we kind of started getting talking, and a lot of people on YouTube have Mustangs. Like there's thousands of YouTube channels based on a Mustang. It's like not a lot of content is being made on Audis. And we got a lot of views from the review I did of the car. The very first video I did with the Audi got over 6,000 views.
Oh, geez.
And that was off of me not even being active on YouTube. So we think an Audi build would be really intriguing and kind of bring in a different audience to the channel and be really interesting, something different, breath of fresh air to the rest of people on YouTube doing Corvettes and Mustangs and whatnot. So thinking about doing that, I think the first couple of things I would do is definitely exhaust. The exhaust is way too quiet. And that thing moved with the custom tune, so it would sound absolutely amazing. Wrap, wing, do the whole race car thing. The only thing I don't like about it is it is 4 doors. It is a sedan, but I've seen plenty of Audis built into race cars for actual track racing. So I think it's a pretty good platform to do it.
So you would build it for drag racing?
I think it's more like a drift car.
Probably track. Probably the track. Probably track, yeah.
I think that's like really good. We had Grid Life here that it was an Audi S4 or it was an S6 that, man, this thing was top to bottom redone for time attack. It had hydraulic jack stands for it that just dropped and raised the car instantly. Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah.
On the track.
They're pretty good on the track. Drag racing, I mean, I'd have to do some serious work I'd have to put a bigger turbo in it. You're dealing with, German engineering. That's just not cheap.
Hey, I don't hear a problem with bigger turbos.
Yeah, right? So probably built for the track for sure. Keep it. If I could get it to about 450, that would be dope. I probably running
out of that thing currently. Being the 4-cylinder, it's a single turbo, correct?
Yeah. I think if I had to guess with the tune, I haven't put it on a dyno, but I think close to 300.
Yeah. So, you're talking about, partially building your engine, probably doing a top-end rebuild, kind of reinforcing some things here and there, unless you wanted to go full in-depth, basically you're doing forged like pistons and rods and all that stuff. But I do think just a turbo.
They should already be forged since it's a turboed.
So if it's already forged since it's a turbo, especially this because an Audi, they should be able to handle the power. I mean, look at these guys. Granted, we're going back to it, the Hyperdrive cars.
Yeah.
Like Corinna's car. That thing is basically just a, what was that, E-Class Mercedes? What is her car? E-Class Mercedes? Or
I think it is E-Class.
So Mercedes, though. But really, aftermarket parts-wise, performance, I don't think she's running that much.
No.
So I definitely think that if you just upgrade your turbo, basically you're talking, it'd be pretty easy to actually obtain that power goal.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think about 450 and slapping some nitrous in there, it would be good to go. if I had to line up at the light, I'd be good.
That would definitely change the game. That would change the game. Now, quick question for you: is that all-wheel drive or is that front wheel?
So it's actually front wheel.
Okay.
Oh.
Actually, front wheel. Unfortunately, the Quattro versions had all-wheel drive.
Okay.
I need to look up the VIN one more time, but I don't believe it's a Quattro.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then it's front wheel drive.
You don't even need to look up the VIN. Just go ahead and slide underneath the back end and front
wheel drive is better for the track, though.
That is true. That is true. Because everyone always thinks, drifting, it means you're, performing the track faster. Technically, every time you're drifting, you're actually losing time.
Oh, yeah.
You got the style points and all that stuff as well. It looks really cool. But the actual process of drifting, as they've proved in shows like Mythbusters and all that stuff as well, it actually is killing your time. I mean, with the front-wheel drive aspect, I mean, hell, you should actually put some pretty good times down.
Well, thanks for making me feel better about it being front-wheel drive.
I'm just being honest.
Okay. So, moving on from the builds, we've got the Streetspeed717 giveaway just started. He is getting rid of the GT500, which has that sit wrap on it, the wheels. He actually beat a 2017 GT350.
Okay.
In the car. It's a 2012 GT500. So I was like, man, that's pretty impressive.
Agreed.
Pretty impressive. So the car's only got 2,800 miles on it.
Yeah. I mean, basically brand new.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to enter that giveaway for sure.
Yeah. I mean, geez, what is it now? It's like $5 and every entry?
Yeah, every $5 you get one entry into it.
Huh.
So, I mean,
I didn't know this was going on. That's
2012 Mustang GT500. That's the GT500s that year were supercharged, so it's sitting at 540 horsepower. I think it's a 5-speed or 6-speed manual, probably 6-speed manual.
Yeah, I mean it's a great platform. Someday I would love, as you guys know, got the Raptor. I'm kind of on the Ford train now. Like honestly, I would not mind picking up an RS or something down the road, or even a Mustang. But
yeah,
we'll see, because I was always the Toyota guy. So now I'm like, kind of changing my roots and all that, but we'll see what ends up happening, because I mean it goes back and forth. I wouldn't mind picking up that new Supra either. So it's kind of like, well,
dude, so many people are buying that. How much is that Supra? Because I've been seeing a lot of people buying it on YouTube.
So I want to say it's 60,000.
So they're right around 60. It depends on where you can find them. So there's some people. So I don't know if you actually follow DDE. DDE's got a good channel going on.
Okay.
Daily Driven Exotics. They drive Lamborghinis, whatever they got, Ferraris.
Yeah.
Dave on that show, he recently picked up. I guess he's purchasing 2 Supras, but he got them at MSRP, which. I mean, he's going to get some pull just because about who he is and all the, their subscribers and all that. But I do feel like it might be a car you actually could get around MSRP. So maybe you can get them in the low 50s. I'm not sure where their MSRP is at. I haven't actually looked, because, I mean, again, another car that we have not seen here in Colorado. So
right. I'm going to be an asshole here. I'm not paying $50,000 for a Toyota. Can't do it.
What? It's a Supra, though. And technically, it's a BMW. I mean, let's be honest. It's a BMW power plant and a Toyota.
Well,
I mean, now it's a cheap BMW.
Yeah, true. Well, I'll probably be entering the giveaway, see if I can win the Mustang. That'd be super cool. It'd be a good video, too, going up to PA, kicking it with Street Speed for a minute, and driving it back down. So
yeah, most definitely.
That would be sweet.
See what happens. Well, where can my viewers find you guys?
You guys know our channels. It's bad to say. It's BrodyBuilt. So, again, my channel started this thing a while ago. Actually, one of my first videos actually involved Shawn. So, it was back in 2012. Remember that snow day we had? Some urban snowboarding. So, it was all three of us. So, that was back in the day. But, yeah, if you guys want to see any more content about Billy's Porsche or the FJ or the Raptor, you can find us at BrodyBuilt.
BrodyBuilt on Instagram, BrodyBuilt on YouTube as well, right?
Yes, sir. That's it. All
right, and I'm going to leave that down below in the description. Also, if you're on BrodyBuilt channel, Brody and Billy's channel, you can find me at Gentleman's Driving Club on Instagram, Gentleman's Driving Club on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to learn more about GEC, hit me up on my channel, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And yeah, we're planning on doing this show weekly. So not exactly sure if we're going to be able to nail down an exact day and time yet. But since it's not live, it's not really a huge deal. We're going to drop one show weekly. I think we can do that, right, guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. We will see you guys next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. And thank you, Shawn, for hosting this.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.